So we can begin. With our motivation. So we can just take, some minutes just to come back to where we are today. So we can become aware of our body, of the position of our body on the floor or on a chair. And we become aware of the movement of breathing, of our breath. We don't try to change anything, just we become aware of the air going in and going out. And if there are many thoughts arising in our mind, we just let them pass, like if our thoughts are clouds in the sky. We don't. We let them go. We don't start the conversation with them. We just notice there is a thought, and we let it go, like a cloud, just pushed by the wind in the sky. And we come back again to the movement of the air going in and going out. And we feel we are all connected with the other people. So some of you are together in the Gompa, and some of us, we are in another place, in another room, but all of us, we feel we are all together. No, we are in the same space, in the same heart space. And we imagine that in front of us, the Buddha appears, Buddha Shakyamuni, on a throne. His body is completely pure, beautiful. And the Buddha is looking at each one of us and is smiling at us. He is very happy that we are all together today to reflect on his teachings. And if we have a teacher, a Lama, we think the Buddha and our own teacher are one in essence. And we feel faith and trust in the Buddha, in his teaching, and in his community, the Sangha. So, and all together, we can recite, the Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer. And just, before we recite the prayer, we try to make our mind as vast as possible. To think that we are gathered together, not only to find happiness for ourselves, but to completely actualize our potential, our Buddha nature. So ourself, we can become a Buddha. And why do we want to become a Buddha? Because this will allow us to help all beings to truly benefit sentient beings. We need to become a Buddha. So that's why we are gathered today, and we do the prayers with this motivation in our heart. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Chödong Tsoke Tsoknan Chonchu Badu Dani Kyapsuj Daki Chenyen Gepe Soknan Ki Jola Benchie Sangye Drumpa Sho. And we can, if you still have the prayer, Anthony, we can do the verses from Shantideva together. So, and visualize from the Buddha, he sends rays of light, and the rays of light, they remove all the obstacles we might have in our mind, and then they bring us all the realizations of the Lamrim. I shall give away fully, with no sense of loss, my body, enjoyments, and all merits of the 3 times to accomplish the work for all sentient beings. By giving away all, I will be liberated from the oceans of samsaric suffering, and my mind will achieve the soulless state. Since I have to leave everything at death, it is best to now give it away to every single sentient being. Having given this body to sentient beings to use however they want, that makes them happy, whether they always kill, criticize, beat me, or whatever, it is totally up to them. Even if they play with my body, ridicule me, put me down or make fun of me, whatever they do, since I have given this body to them, what is the point of retaliating? Let this body only do actions that cause no harm to others, and whoever looks at or thinks of me may it never be meaningless for them. Whoever focuses on me, whether with anger or devotion, may that always be the cause for them to achieve every success. May all who say unpleasant things, harm, mock, or make fun of me have the fortune to achieve enlightenment. May I become a guide for those who are guideless, a leader for those who are entering the path, a ship, a boat, and a bridge for all who wish to cross over water. May I become a beautiful garden for those who seek one, a light for those who look for light, bedding for those who wish to rest, and a servant for all who want me as their servant. Like a wish-counting jewel, a wish-fulfilling vase, powerful mantra, great medicine, and a wish-counting tree, may I fulfill all the wishes of sentient beings. Just like the sky and the great elements, earth, water, fire, and wind, may I always be the means of living and the cause of happiness for sentient beings, equaling the limitless sky. As long as space exists, as long as sentient beings exist, may I too abide and eliminate the suffering of sentient beings. So today, what we can do today is to look more closely at bodhicitta, at a different method to develop bodhicitta in our mind, and not just to develop, but to really actualize bodhicitta in our mind. So we already talked about bodhicitta and how important it is in the context of our motivation, especially in the morning when we wake up. And so today we can look more closely at the different Lamrim methods to really actualize bodhicitta. So first, what does it mean, bodhicitta? Does one of you know the definition of bodhicitta and could share?
I think it's the wish to attain an enlightenment for the sake of liberating all sentient beings from samsara.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So, what is important is to really have these two aspects. So it's not just one without the other, it's really these two together. So as you say, we have the wish to attain enlightenment, so to ourselves become a Buddha. And why do we want to do that? Because of the second one, because we want to help each being, and not only to help, but we want to bring them to the end of suffering. So to do that, we need to have the skills of a Buddha. We need, very strong love, compassion, so we don't lose heart when we try to help beings. We need courage, and we need wisdom. We need to know how to help each person. And so another aspect of being a Buddha is a Buddha, he has skillful means. So it's connected with wisdom, and he really knows how to help each one of us. He knows which way, which kind of teaching or action will help each one of us to progress on our path. So that is bodhicitta, these two aspects together. So and bodhicitta, it's a Sanskrit word, and bodhi, so we have bodhi and chitta. And bodhi, it's enlightenment, it's Buddhahood, we could say. And chitta, it's the mind. So it's the body mind, the mind of enlightenment. So, and why is bodhicitta important? So, if we don't have bodhicitta, it's possible to reach liberation, to reach nirvana. If we have wisdom, if we recognize the way in which we truly exist, then we can cut our ignorance, and we can be free of samsara. We can reach nirvana, liberation. But without bodhicitta, we can go no further. We reach liberation. It's we only become free, but only ourselves is going to be free. We won't be able to help other beings, really. It's individual liberation. So to reach enlightenment, full enlightenment, what we need is bodhicitta. And without bodhicitta, it just is not possible to reach Buddhahood, full enlightenment. So we could think, okay, so perhaps we can first try to free ourselves, to reach nirvana, and then we can think about bodhicitta and try to, once we are, we are in the state of nirvana, we can try to develop bodhicitta, and then we can work for other beings. Perhaps we could do like that, Why do we have to work on bodhicitta now, when we are just, beginners, really, on the path? We are very far from our own individual liberation. So why should we think about bodhicitta? The thing is, if we don't generate bodhicitta now, the thing is, if we reach individual liberation, we will be completely absorbed in a state of bliss. We'll completely taken by this blissful state of liberation. And so if we don't have generated before the wish to help other beings in a very strong way, then there is no way for us to get out of this blissful experience of liberation. Our mind will not be strong enough to generate bodhicitta by itself at this time if we haven't worked on it before. So bodhicitta is really the heart of the Mahayana, the universal yana. We have Hinayana and Mahayana, the great vehicle. And without bodhicitta, there is no Mahayana. And if we generate bodhicitta, or I should say, when we generate bodhicitta, we will be what they call bodhisattva. We become a bodhisattva. So a bodhisattva is someone who has bodhicitta in their mind, and who will be called a child of the Buddha. So what does it mean to be a child of the Buddha? It means that we become part of the family in a way. We enter the family of the Buddha, of all the Buddhas, and we become a heir of the Buddha. Why? Because once we generate bodhicitta, we will get enlightenment. We will get enlightened ourselves. It's just a question of time when we will reach enlightenment. But once we are bodhisattva, we will become a Buddha. So we become the next generation of Buddha. So, and we saw this quote of Lama Atisha in the previous Sundays. Lama Atisha, he gave the advice to Dromtonpa, to give up this life in your mind. And actually, after this advice to give up this life, Lama Atisha, he said, so you have to give up this life and then meditate on love, on compassion, and on bodhicitta. So it's really like the heart of the teachings of all the all the Lama, from the past, from Lama Atisha to Shantideva, Lama Tsongkhapa, His Holiness Dalai Lama. You can think of all the Mahayana Lamas of the past and the present. The heart of their teachings, and of course Lama Zopa Rinpoche, the heart of the teaching is bodhicitta. So, and we have to really understand why. It's because without bodhicitta, then we cannot help other beings. It's really the method that is going to help us reach our full potential, actualize our full potential, and by that I mean become ourselves a Buddha. So I have two quotes on bodhicitta from Rinpoche. Lama Zopa Rinpoche, he says, the thought of bodhicitta is unbelievable. It makes everything other than working for sentient beings boring and unsatisfying. There is no real interest or enjoyment in life apart from this. Anything else is meaningless, empty, essenceless. Real happiness and satisfaction start when you begin to live your life for others. And in another quote, Rinpoche says, live with compassion, work with compassion, die with compassion, meditate with compassion, enjoy with compassion. When problems come, experience them with compassion. So there are three techniques, three methods to develop bodhicitta. And these methods are in the Lamrim. First in the Lama Atisha Lamrim. Not all three are in Lama Atisha Lamrim. Sorry. The first one is in Lama Atisha Lamrim. It's called the 7-point cause and effect. And then we have a second method that we find in Shantideva text, in the Bodhisattva Charyavatara. It's equalizing and exchanging oneself with others. And then Lama Tsongkhapa, he combined these two methods in one. So he took points of the first one, second one, and he made a combined method. So we are going to look at the first method, the 7 points, cause and effect. So I've written down each one of these points, and I can put it in the chat right now. So we all have it. And you also find the two quotes I just read. In the PDF. Okay. So this method, it's sometimes it's called 6 cause and 1 effect, and sometimes it's called 7 cause and effect. So it's the same one, in case you see different names in different books. So the goal is to develop a mind that is going to see all sentient beings as being close to us, and to view them with very deep affection, to feel they are very dear to us. So to train ourselves to see all sentient beings as kind, as dear, we are going to use the example of the person who was most dear to us in this life. So in the traditional method, they use the example of our mother. So why? Because our mother, for most of us, is the person that was the most kind, that helped us the most in our life, especially when we were little children, little babies. We could not do anything by ourselves, and we needed the help of someone, and usually it's our mother who took care of us. But of course, you can choose someone else. If in your own life it's your father or someone else that took care of you, that was very kind to you, then you can use this person instead of your mother. So we're trying to see all beings as having been our mother in the past. But before we do that, the first step is to generate equanimity. So you see, equanimity is before number 1. it's actually before. It's like the foundation of the 7 points. So what is this equanimity? So the goal is to not allow our feeling of anger, attachments, or indifference color our experience. The experience we have when we meet different persons. So it's the goal is to have a mind that is free of partiality. And the result of equanimity is that our mind is going to become very peaceful. Because for now, usually when we meet someone we like, we get all excited. And when we meet someone we don't like, perhaps we don't want to meet someone we don't like. We try to avoid, but when we don't have choice, then we are not happy. Or perhaps we even get angry. And when we meet persons we don't know, we never met them before, we don't care at all about them. And the thing is, for now, our mind, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, depending on the different persons we meet. So it's not very peaceful. So the foundation of the sevenfold cause and effect is to develop equanimity. And after, we have 6 causes and 1 effect. So from number 1 to number 6, it's the cause. And number 7, bodhicitta, it's the effect. So first we generate equanimity, then we train to recognize all sentient beings as our mother. Then we remember their kindness, using the example of our own mother in this life. We recognize that, if all beings have been our mother at one point in the past, then they have been very kind to us. They took care of us. So we wish to repay their kindness. Actually, in this method, what is going to take the most time, the most work from our side, is really the first steps. It's equanimity and recognizing all beings as a mother. And actually, when we have managed to generate these 2 minds, these 2 causes in our mind, these 2 states of mind, then the next point from remembering their kindness are going to be much easier to generate. It's much more, it's more very natural. It's going to happen once we recognize all beings as having been our mother. Then quite easily we will remember their kindness, and then quite easily we will wish to repay their kindness, and we will generate affectionate love. So this kind of love, it's a love that's going to see all beings as very dear, very kind to us, and we will want them to be happy. And after, we'll generate great compassion. So compassion is the wish for beings to be free of suffering. So love we want them to be happy, and compassion, we want them to be free of suffering. And then we have the extraordinary attitude. So this, it's when we want ourselves, to help beings. We take the responsibility on ourselves. We think, okay, I myself, I'm going to bring love, to free beings of their suffering. I will do it by myself. It's a responsibility we take. And once we have taken this responsibility, then we'll, the effect bodhicitta will arise. I think, the best way to work on this method is to do together a meditation, and we can start by equanimity, and we'll see if we can, perhaps try to generate with each one of these mind in ourselves together. But at least we can start by equanimity. So once again, we try to we just become aware of our body and its position. And so when we do a meditation, the most important is to try to have our back straight. It will help, we have we call winds energy moving in our body. And if our back is straight, it will help us to stay present, not to start to go to sleep. It will really help our concentration. But at the same time, we try to we don't create any tension in the body. We are very gentle with our body. So we find this middle way of having the back straight, but in a very gentle way, without creating a feeling of being tense in the body. And again, we remember our motivation. So we want, we have this wish in us to benefit sentient beings, to benefit the beings that have a karmic connection with us. So to be able to help them, we need to completely purify our mind of all the delusions and to completely develop all the good qualities that are already in our mind, but for now they are not fully developed. So in other words, we need to become a Buddha, and to become a Buddha, we need bodhicitta. And to generate bodhicitta, we need a method. So this method of 7 points of cause and effect is the method taught by Lama Atisha in his Lamrim text, and is the method so many of the past lamas, past yogi, they use to generate bodhicitta. It's not like they wake up one day and add bodhicitta. No, they use this method. They did all these meditations that we are going to do step by step, and they manage to actualize bodhicitta using these meditations. So first, we are going to meditate on the first point, on the foundation, on equanimity. So to do this meditation, first we visualize in front of us a neutral person, someone we don't know. We don't know at all who they are. Can take an example of just someone we saw on the street, someone walking in the street, in a shop, and we have no idea who they are. They have no connection with us. It can be just someone we saw on TV, whatever. Just take someone we don't know. And what happens when we imagine this person? How does our mind react? Our mind doesn't react much. We don't really feel any change in our emotion. Our mind stays neutral. And then we visualize in the text, they call this person an enemy. Perhaps for most of us, enemy is a bit too strong a word. We can think of someone, that's we find very annoying, someone that like aggravates us. Perhaps it's a colleague, it's a neighbor, a member of our family. So we imagine this person and how does our mind react when we think of this person? When we imagine this person is here in front of us. So usually we have a natural reaction in our mind, dislike, not wanting to see this person, perhaps anger. So and then we visualize in front of us a friend or it can be a friend, can be a family member, someone who is very dear to us. And how does our mind react when we imagine this person is in front of us? So naturally, we feel close to this person. Perhaps we feel warmth in our body. We feel happy. So we notice each one of our reaction when we think of each one of this person. So first, we don't try to change anything. We just observe what happens in our mind. And then we try to analyze our reaction. Why do we feel this way to the person we don't know? Why do we feel that way to the person we consider, as our enemy? And why do we feel this other way to the person we consider to be our friend? For the person we don't know, such a person, they never help us, they never harm us, they were never nice to us, or never bad, never mean to us. So we are completely neutral toward them. We don't feel attachment, we don't feel aversion. And what about our enemy? Why do we feel the way we feel toward them? What happened in the past with this person? So we try to remember when we started to feel this person is someone I don't like, and we think about the reason why, what happened. Did they harm us? Ourselves or someone with a friend? And usually we see that, yes, actually what happened is this person, either they directly harm me or they harm someone close to me, or they did something that goes against what I think people should do. So we identify the reason. And then we think about our friend. Why do we consider this person to be a friend? It is because they help us. They have been kind to us in a way or another. So we consider them to be our friend. And now we ask ourselves, but is this way of looking at people really based on wisdom? Does it have a solid foundation? Are these reasons valid? So let's look at our friend. Is our friend always our friend? This person we consider to be our friend? Perhaps in the past they were not our friend. Perhaps they were someone we did not know, so we had no feeling of closeness to them. And in the past something happened and this person became a friend. This person did something nice to us, or perhaps said some kind words, help us. Has this person always been kind to us all the time? In the past, did we not have people we consider friends that became enemy very quickly just because they said or did something we did not like, or we said or did something they didn't like or didn't understand, and the relation completely changed. From friends they became someone we didn't like, didn't want to see. They became an enemy. And how many other person we now consider friends? So before there were strangers, people we did not know, or even it's possible that someone we now think of as a friend, before we think of them as an enemy, someone we didn't like. And a day they help us, or no, we took the time to speak with this person and we understood this person and we realized actually they have like completely valid reasons to act the way they act, and after that we become friends. So we can see that in our life, and very quickly, even if we think just of a few years, like in a couple of years, just some of our friends, they become enemy. Some of people we consider enemies, they become friends. Some friends, they become strangers. Some strangers, they become either friend or enemy. So there is no really valid reason to consider some persons as being friend, enemy, stranger, and to think it's always like that and it will never change. And we can think, we can think of childhood. When we were a child, we had friends, and among these friends, how many do we still know? How many of these friends are a child or even teenager or young adult? How many are still our friends? How many became strangers? Perhaps even some become like enemies we don't want to see. It's very possible that even the persons we consider at some point in our life to be our closest friend, if we see them in the street, perhaps we won't even recognize them. So, and it's just in this life. So we can see just in this life, we cannot really rely on this division we make between friend, enemy, stranger. So we come to the conclusion that being partial, having partiality in our mind, actually is groundless. There is no real reason, rational, solid reason for this difference we make between beings. And if we think about past lives, if we think that it's not the first life we have, then in all our previous lives, we've met many different persons. Some were our parents, our sister, brother, our friend, our husbands, wife, children, grandparents. Some were our enemies. Perhaps it was a time where there were a war and we went to kill people, and we think, oh, these people, they are my enemies. I have to kill them. So many things happened in our past lives. We had so many different kind of relation with different people. So if we think like that, it's very possible that people like we consider as enemy in the past, now they are our friend or family members, and our present friends, family members, we had all kind of relationship with them in the past. Some life they were stranger, some they were enemy, some they were friends, and so on. So we develop the mind of equanimity toward all sentient beings. And then we try to go to the other points of this technique for developing bodhicitta. So the next one is to recognize that all beings have been our mother. So this, to establish this point, what we need to do actually is to think about our mind and the fact that our mind doesn't have a beginning. So to do that, we can see that there is a continuity in our mind, in our mind stream, in the stream of our mind. Our mind is like a river. So we wake up this morning, but when we wake up, we have the continuity of a previous moment of consciousness. And we can come back to the day before, the week before, the month before, the year before, and see that there is a continuity of consciousness. It's like a stream that is changing, but there is a continuity, like a river. So we can come back like that until when we were a child, and see there's still this continuity of our mind. So we come back again in the past. We think of the moment of our birth. What happened at our birth? What happened before, when we were inside our mother? Did the continuity of our minds was still present at that time? Where does our mind come from? Our body, we know, it comes from our parents. Our parents created this body. It's clear, no problem. But where does our mind comes from? Is it coming from our parents? A little bit of the mind of the father, the mind of the mother? Is it possible, like the body? Can the body have also created our mind? We have to think of the different possibilities. In the teachings, they explain, as the, our mind comes like when into this body, when our body was created by our parents, but our mind was not created at this moment. Our mind stream came from someone who was in the bardo between death and rebirth and was looking for a new body. He entered this mind stream, entered our body, and our new body when our body was created by our parents. So is it possible? Does it make sense or not? And if we analyze this and we come to the conclusion that it makes sense, then it means we had a previous life in a different body. And then it means in this previous life, we had parents, we had, like persons who gave us a body previously. And like that, we can come back in the past again and again. And if our mind has no beginning, then it means we had different bodies. We had a lot of different bodies in the past. Human bodies, animals, all kinds of bodies. And in these different lives, then we had parents. And these parents, they took care of us when we were very small, when we could not find food for ourselves, when we needed to be protected. So like that, we can come to the conclusions that it's possible that all beings at one point in the past, they have been our mother or parent. And in all these lives, our parents have been very kind to us. They gave us food, shelter, education. When we were little baby birds, they went to find worms and insects to give us food so we could stay alive. So now we want to repay their kindness. When we feel in our heart how kind they have been in the past to protect us, to help us, then we want to repay their kindness. So we feel all beings are very dear to us. And we feel we want them to be happy. All these beings are like us. They just want to be happy, but they lack happiness. They don't have a method to find real happiness. Actually, they are suffering right now. So when we think of how they are suffering, we generate compassion in our hearts. We want them to be free of this different kind of suffering. We find it completely unbearable that they have to suffer. So we feel in our heart we have to do something to help them. And now we have met the Dharma, we have met the teachings of how to be really happy. So we want them, we want to share these teachings with them. We want them to meet these teachings, and we ourselves are going to help them. It's our responsibility. So this being our responsibility, what we need to do is to benefit all beings, to help all beings that have been so dear to us, that are our kind parents of past life. To benefit them, we need ourselves to become a Buddha. So this way we generate bodhicitta in our heart. So slowly, we let go of the meditation. And again, we become aware of our body, of the weight of our body on the cushion or in the chair. And slowly, we can move a little bit the body. We can open our eyes. And we can be aware again of the people around us. So this is the meditation, the 7 points to develop bodhicitta. So of course, I did everything together. I guide you in like all the points. And usually what we try to do when we do this meditation, of course, we work on equanimity, then we go to the first cause, we work on it sometime, and after we go on the second, and so on. So, but still, I think it's good to do everything, so it gives an imprint of the whole 7 points of cause and effect. And after slowly, you can come back to each one of these points. It really take time to develop each one. So please, if you have questions about this method,
Yes, hi, Venerable. We do have a question here in the Gampa, just wondering if you could talk about point 6 a little more. Expand on that point, please.
all right. So it's good, you're already on point 6. You're very close to bodhicitta.
Oh, no, not me, Jack over here.
No. I rejoice. Okay. So it's really a sense of responsibility you feel. So at this point, yes. So you already feel love and compassion for all beings. But just like 4 and 5, it's like it's on your wish. You have this wish for beings to be to be happy and to be free of suffering. But that's it. It's a wish in your heart. But when you generate an extraordinary attitude, number 6, so you take really the responsibility. You feel, okay, I'm going to bring all beings by myself alone to a state of of happiness, and I'm going to free them of suffering. So of course, the more you have your love and compassion is strong, the more your sense of responsibility is going to be strong. So yeah, it's really a commitment. It's like you sign the contract. You really say, okay, I'm going to do it, and okay, I signed the contract, and then you have to do it. Is it more clear?
Yes, you said, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jack.
And I do have a question. Oh, no, go, Anthony, go ahead.
Yes, sir. But it was just going to be an observation that when you go through the 7 points, you really realize how it's all connected. It's such a big picture. You go through the mind and through compassion. It was like when we're talking about our moments of minds, and how they came from previous moments of mind. It really hit home for me that, I need to do more study and reflection on even just how the mind works and the mental factors. And I found it helpful when you mentioned, well, did we get a piece of a mind from our mother and father? I mean, I know we got our body from them, but does it make sense that our minds came? I found that helpful because it's something I've been trying to wrap my head around for years, a mind coming from a previous life. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's very, actually we really need to take our time for these subjects, and especially the equanimity and recognizing all beings as our mother. And because if we don't establish that we had a continuity of mind, that we had so many lives, actually this meditation we cannot really do, because we cannot see all beings as having been our mother. So it's in a way, it's quite advanced. They say in the Lamrim, it's one of there are two meditations in the Lamrim that are very, very difficult to realize. So one is to see our Lama as a Buddha, and the second one is to see all beings as our mother. So it's one of the most difficult meditation on Lama. Often we think, oh, emptiness, it's so difficult, but actually no, it's this meditation that is really one of the most difficult to realize. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Just having the possibility there, I find helpful for now. As you mentioned, I guess it's very advanced to have that realization. All right, Nicole, you can ask your question. Sorry for interrupting you.
Oh, no. Thank you. Graciela, go ahead. Your question.
Sometimes people don't want to be.
That's your comment, or
It's a question.
Oh.
What do we do?
So Graciela's
Even if we have the commitment.
Graciela's question is, sometimes people don't want to be helped. So what do we do in that case? When who has the commitment?
Well, say I do, right? But the other person that I want to help doesn't want to be helped by me.
Can you hear her?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. It's a very good question. And it can be very difficult when we have people close to us that actually we cannot help. And it's the thing is to have a long-term view. Perhaps I cannot help this person now, but due to us having a good relationship, then it's possible that I can help them in the future. Perhaps it will be next year, in 10 years, in 20 years, or next life. So I think in this situation, what really helps is to keep a good relationship with this person. And if it's a friend, okay, we do things that this person enjoys doing, and we don't try to change them. If they don't want to be helped, then we cannot do anything. So just accept them, and we give them the space. And I think just giving them space, then perhaps it can be some transformation. They can, perhaps their mind we open a little bit, and after perhaps we can help. But we cannot force anything. We can just be there, and the person knows we are here. Is it helpful?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, very
Thank you. Yeah. I know for me, I have this situation a bit in my life, people close to me, in my family, but I cannot really, they're not really interested in Dharma, and so I'm just here, I love them, and perhaps just I can say a little something one day that's going to happen, something in their mind.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And my question was more about, yes, the meditation is a longer and difficult meditation. I think even just distraction. So that, I just recognize that distractions arise and, keep on coming back, right? Do you have any other suggestions?
For distractions, wow. Yeah, try to, it's very difficult. I think nowadays with our lifestyle, to manage to have good concentration is really a challenge. So to try, I guess, just to work a bit on shine, on concentration, a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be long, just a few minutes before we start analytical meditation. Like a breath exercise, like the nine rounds. If you know this breath exercise, it can help to bring the mind back. But it's, of course, it's. I think it's very challenging concentration.
Mm-hmm.
So slowly, every day, to work on it a bit on Shinne.
Can you say more about?
It's, yeah. So we have two types of meditation. One is in one point, it's concentration, and in Tibetan it's called Shinne, shamatha, Sanskrit. So it's when we stay on an object. And the other one, it's analytical meditation, like what we just did. We analyze a subject, a Lamrim subject. And of course, at some point, the two meet, and for each one of the analytical meditation, when we manage to, for example here, when we manage to generate bodhicitta, we feel in our heart, because due to the analytical meditation we managed to generate bodhicitta, then we stay in one point on bodhicitta. So we need the two, type of meditation. And if we don't have, bit of concentration, then perhaps we manage to generate bodhicitta. But if we can stay with bodhicitta, it won't be strong enough to become a realization. So we need to, of course, to try and to develop our concentration. Yeah. So Arpita asked if we can have more information on the breath exercise. So yeah, what I can do, I can try to look for a text explaining the meditation and send it to Nicole, and she can share it with you, or we can do next week, or both. Because it takes a bit. Actually, this meditation is very, very useful, but it takes a bit of time to explain. So I think we don't really have time to do that right now, but we can do next time. And I try to look for a text explaining this meditation.
Thank you so much.
Good. Right. So we do the dedications, all the positive energy we created, what we call merits, doing this meditation and bodhicitta. It's even if we did not manage, to generate bodhicitta in our mind, just to try to generate bodhicitta, it was a wish to generate bodhicitta. It's so amazing, so rare in the world. So we dedicate all this positive energy. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly gain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all living beings, without exception, into that enlightened state. May the Supreme Jewel Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. And the long life prayers for His Holiness Dalai Lama. So we think, may all his holy wishes become true and may stay with us a very, very long time, and may we meet him and receive his teachings, his precious Mahayana teachings. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, the incomparably kind Supreme Tenzin Gyatso, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. and for long life for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tun Tsun Jong Jin Jang Gyun Gye Wem Ten Jin Kyung Pe Wei Kun Zu Dong Pon Sim Trong Sung Ku Wei Le Nun Dong Dong Ban Dan Su Dun Shi Gen Tu Shan Ten Shu. Thank you very much. And tomorrow it's a very special day. It's the anniversary of the first teaching the Buddha gave. So I'm sure there are many things, happy things happening at Tupten Kungaling. So if you can do practice together, if you are at home, do some practice, meditate on bodhicitta, it will be very, very beneficial. So, yeah. So thank you very much and see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Venerable.